Hi, I'm Morgan Kawaguchi from Own Physical Therapy and Pilates located in Asheville, North Carolina. Today we're going to go over a lovely movement sequence for the posterior chain of the body. This could be considered anywhere from a beginner to an intermediate session. So if ever you're in a place where you feel like you're having pain or increased discomfort, just take a break, find a child's pose, and just catch up with the next exercise. All right, so working the posterior chain is important because so much of our lives is anterior based, of course, right? We're gonna see what we're doing. But it's important not to neglect the posterior chain. Posterior chain has a lot of balance towards the anterior portion of our body. It assists and does the majority of postural stabilization. And it's just a really lovely place to start if you're having some discomfort, or if you've been sitting all day, or if you drive all day, which is so many of us as we are working our professional lives. We just don't move like we used to. So we're going to start off in a hands and knee position. If you've got knees that need a little bit more padding, make sure that you have padding close by. If your wrists need a little bit more padding, make sure that you've got a towel roll or something that you can elevate the heel of your hand. All right, come on down. And we're going to find this nice position. We're going to start off with some cat-cow. So you want to make sure your wrists are right underneath your shoulders and that your hips are positioned right underneath the knee joints. From here, we're going to find a nice stable place to inhale. Exhale, let your shoulder blades come together onto your back. You're going to let your tailbone tip up towards the ceiling, and we're going to look at the wall in front of us. From here, we push the floor away. Head comes down, tailbone tucks down in between the heels, and then you're going to let your belly button rise all the way up towards your spine and create a nice tunnel underneath your body. If you've got a dog, a cat, or a child, they will most likely want to crawl under here. And then from here, let your shoulder blades fall onto your back again. Tailbone comes tipping back up towards the ceiling, and you're looking at the wall in front of you. And then from here, keep pushing the floor away. The shoulder blades come around the ribs, tailbone gets tucked down in between the heels, and then we're drawing the belly button up nice and high towards the ceiling. Head is heavy. Inhale. Exhale, let everything sag back underneath you. Shoulder blades come onto the back, tailbone tips up towards the sky, and we're looking at the wall in front of us. Last time, push the floor away. Shoulder blades come around the rib, head goes heavy, tailbone is tucked, belly button is drawn towards the spine. Now from here, the next few, I want you to play with finding that halfway place. Draw the neck into the back of the throat into the back of the neck, and keep that pressure into the floor, okay? And see if you can find that halfway place. And then let everything fall back down. We're looking up, tailbones towards the ceiling. And then again, push the floor away. See if you can play with determining where that halfway place is between full sag and then press all the way up to full arch. And then back down, throats in the back of the neck, tailbones in a nice neutral position. We're pushing the floor away, and then let everything sag down. Maybe do that one more time. Push all the way through, create a nice high tunnel, and then nice and easy, come all the way into your halfway place. Throats in the back of the neck. We're strong through the arms, and then our belly button's drawn towards the spine. From here, we've got our nice neutral spine. Don't be afraid to grab a mirror and make sure that this matches up with what you're feeling, okay? And now I want you to feel like we can lighten up through the right hand and just slide those fingertips towards the top of our mat. I want you to think about the 4 points, your 2 points of the shoulder and the 2 points of your hip, staying in this relationship. There's no sagging, there's no twisting. Nice and easy, those right fingertips are towards the top of your mat. We lift that hand towards the ceiling, and then all the way back down to the mat and slide it back underneath the shoulder. Unweight the left hand, fingertips slide forward towards the top of your mat. Lift up nice and long towards the wall in front of you, and then back down. Slide it back underneath you. Unweight the knee, the right knee. This can get a little tricky. Those right toenails slide towards the back of your mat. Again, the 4 points don't change. Lift that leg long behind you. We're not opening up that hip. and then all the way back up underneath you and return to normal. Unweight through the left knee. Slide those toenails out nice and long, and then again, lift long towards the wall behind you. Toenails come back to the mat and slide that knee underneath you. Now here we start throwing in opposing arm, opposing leg. Unweight the left hand and the right knee. Fingertips and toenails go long. When you're ready, we lift long towards the opposing walls. Again, the 4 points don't change. We're not getting a big twist. We're not going to do a big tuck in between. Unweight the right hand, unweight the left knee. Slide fingertips and toenails out long. From here, we lift up long towards the opposing walls, and then back down and underneath us. We'll do that one more time each side. Left hand, right knee. Toenails and fingertips out long. Everything stays nice and steady as we lift up strong and long. And back down and in. Right hand, left knee, last time. Everybody slides out long as we lift towards the opposing walls, no movement, and then we come back and back up underneath. Widen your knees and let your hips find your heels. If that got a little wristy for you, always feel like you can reach back and grab your heels. Let your head be heavy and just take some nice deep breaths here. One more. Excellent. Now that we kind of have played with a little bit more of that neutral spine, we're going to find our way onto our backs and play with some bridge. From here, we're going to lay in the supine hook lying position. So the back is flat and long on the floor. The knees are bent so that the feet can be flat. Arms are right down beside you. From here, we're again in a neutral spine. I know we keep saying that. It's hard to determine what that means for you, but it means that we're not fully imprinted into the mat, but yet we're not creating an arch of space either. So again, we're going to play with that here. So we're going to have hands right on the pelvis. Really let your pelvis rock forward as if it was going to reach up towards the ceiling. And then again, rock all the way back and really let your tailbone tuck towards your heels again. You're going to feel your hamstrings turn on here as well. And then again, really let it roll forward and then tuck and scoot the pelvis back and then roll forward. This time we're going to stop at what we think might be the halfway place and take a deep breath here. Exhale, draw the belly button tight towards the spine. You should feel pressure come up into the pads of your fingertips. And then let everything roll all the way back. Again, we're kind of playing with that what feels like halfway and what's true for your body, okay? And then all the way into that halfway position as we let everything roll all the way forward. This time as you come back, stay in that halfway place. Make sure you've taken a breath. Exhale, belly button towards the spine, hands down beside the hips. Making really good contact through the feet and hands as you press your hips up nice and high. We're going flat back here, so not an articulated bridge today. I find that kicks on the hamstrings a lot more, and then press nice and strong through your arms and through your feet, and then back down. A lot of us have very reactive hamstrings, and so it's nice to make sure that just the glutes can be keyed on here as well. And then up and down. One more. And up and down. All right. From here, make sure your feet are nice and close together. We're going to work glute medius a little bit more. So looking for some nice stabilization. This is really lovely for all of you that do anything in single limb stance, dancing, runners, really important for runners since there's that huge flight phase plus the ground reaction force and gravity coming down into that single limb. All right, from here, raise your hips up, flat back. Keep the pelvis nice and level as you take your right leg and kick it towards the wall in front of you. And then let that knee bend back in. Left leg kicks, keeping that knee nice and strong. and then back down to the floor with your hips. And again, inhale, exhale, belly button towards the spine as you raise your hips up, kick right leg, nice and strong and long, pelvis doesn't move, right back down. Kick the left leg, and nice and back in. Hips come down, one more like this. Exhale, up nice and strong, kick the right leg nice and straight and strong, and then back in, and then kick the left leg, straight and strong, and back in. Now we're gonna switch, we're gonna start with the left leg. So hips come up nice and strong, kick the left leg, and then pull that back in. Kick the right leg, and back in, and down. Exhale, up nice and strong, and out, and then right leg, out. Again, we're keeping that pelvis level. We don't want to have a lot of give in that. That really works glute medius. His job is to keep the pelvis level. Make him show up for you, and down. Excellent. From here, we're just going to cross your right ankle over your left knee, and we're going to draw that left leg in for a nice figure four stretch. This is similar to your pigeon, your, what else would this be? Oh, it's pigeon. All right, and then from here, take a big breath, and exhale, bring that back down, and switch, and bring that right leg. It's gonna be your lever to stretch, lefty. Stretch that again, we'll switch, right ankle over left knee, and draw that back in. There's some really nice research out there if there is low back pain, low back tightness, low back really anything, really addressing hip mobility as well as lumbar mobility is a lovely combination. As the low back goes, so does the hip. And then nice and easy switch. Last time, left ankle over right knee. For those of you that are really flexible and find that this just isn't quite cutting it, when you pull your nice right leg in, you can always add a little push away with the elbow of the same side that you're stretching. That kind of takes that stretch up a notch. All right, from here, we're gonna bring your feet back together, but we're gonna keep them in tabletop. We want you to take your arms straight up towards the ceiling. From here, take a breath. Exhale, belly button towards the spine. I want your spine imprinted this time because we're going into ab curl. Inhale. Exhale, roll everything up, reach towards the opposing wall, keeping your collarbones nice and wide, legs are together and strong. And then exhale, roll everything back down one vertebra at a time. And exhale, wheel everything up. Reach towards that opposing wall. Exhale, roll back down. Make sure both sides hit at the same time. One more. Exhale, reach up. Stay up here. Take your right arm and reach a little bit further. You're gonna get a little side bend and then back in. Left, you can reach a little bit further and come back center. Right, and left. On these next two, I want your legs to fall away from the side that you're turning on. That kicks on the oblique big time. And left as your knees go to the right. One more. And left. And roll all the way back in. Grab your knees and just rock back and forth, side to side. You can go as wide as you want to. You can really play with the edges of how far you roll. It's just a lovely place to be after all of that. All right, from here, I want you to come back up and we're gonna roll onto our stomach for some nice upper back thoracic work. We're gonna lay down on our bellies. And we're gonna have your hands just out to the sides. So they might be off of the mat, they might be half on, half off. That's how mine are as well. So from here, just want you to nice and easy find a lovely place of rest if you can for your forehead.
If you need a little washcloth underneath your forehead, do so. From here, I want you to think about pressing your pubic bone into your mat and hovering your hands off of the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Start swooping your forehead up to look at the top of your mat and start lifting your sternum as if you're rolling a marble out in front of you. And then exhale, lay the sternum back down and rest the forehead. Inhale. Exhale, press that pubic bone in, lift the forehead up, roll your marble out with your sternum, and exhale, roll everything back on. This time we're going to hold. Inhale. Exhale, pubic bone in, start lifting the forehead up. As you get to the top of that movement, take your arms as you press out long. Make sure your pubic bone is pressed into the mat. And out long with your arms as you're making a V, and come back down into a W. And then press out long last time, and then back in. From here, go up and down a little. One more. And down all the way. Everything rests on the mat. Forehead, hands, just let it all go. You can relax that action of the pubic bone into the mat as well. From here, we're going to play with some nice single leg kicks. So I want you to braid your fingers together in front of you, okay? And then from here, drag your body forward, okay? That adds a little bit of activation into the lats, into the deep abdominals, and into the obliques as well. From here, I want you to get a nice push into the tops of your thighs so that your legs can reach out long. All right, from here, you take your right heel and it just kicks right up towards your bottom twice, okay? And it presses out long. And then left heel, and then long. Right heel, right towards your bottom, and then long. And then left heel. You shouldn't get too much movement into the body with these kicks. Okay, if we've created that nice space where we're dragging our body forward, we're having some nice activation into a lot of the body. And then right and left last time. And then let everything come back down and rest. If that got into your back at all, stack your hands, let your knees bend, and then just rock your feet back and forth. I call these windshield wipers. From here, we're going to play with a little bit of swan. Hands go right in that same place where you started with your VWs. You might be half on, half off, depending on what kind of motion you have, but you want your thumbs to be in line with your shoulders, okay? So from here, inhale, exhale, really press into your hands as you again start looking up towards the top of your mat, pressing the pubic bone into the mat, and then nice and easy, just see if you can get the bottom of your ribs off of your mat, and then lay everything back down. This is baby swan. Exhale, press in, and then glide the shoulder blades down the back as you find that connection with your pubic bone, and just lift the bottom of the ribs off of the mat. Exhale, lay down with control. And one more. Exhale, press into that mat as you start rolling your head forward, roll the marble out, and then nice and easy, shoulder blades are down your back as you lift the bottom ribs up. And nice and easy all the way down. We're going to go into full swan here. Inhale, exhale, we press the pubic bone in, raise the forehead, we roll that marble out. As shoulder blades stay down the back, we press the arms out nice and straight and strong. Exhale, nice and easy, roll the belly back down onto the mat, rib cage down to the mat, forehead to the mat. Inhale, exhale, drag the body forward a little bit with the hands to engage the shoulder blades as you press all the way long. From here, look to your right and look straight.
look to your left, and look straight. And then roll the belly back down, nice and easy.
And just let everything go heavy. Excellent work. What I like to do here, because it's a lovely break, press my knees out wide, and then again, find a child's pose. That's a ton of lumbar extension for folks. So if this is not the position that you love, really take some breaks into child's pose. All right, coming back down, we're gonna play with some hip extension. You're gonna stack your hands right on top of each other so that your forehead has a lovely place to hang out. And then from here, I want you to again press your pubic bone into the mat. Legs lift up off of the mat as they go out wide, and then bring the heels together. 1, we're going 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. The slower you go, the more tension you can create in those muscles. So I know there's a lot of classical work out there that wants you to go fast, that wants you to find some speed. That's all great and good. That's just not what this is, okay? All right, from here, we are gonna play with some plank. We are in that nice long prone position. Hands are underneath us. Press out and see if you can find that quadruped position again. From here, nice strong connection with your mat, with your hands. Press the mat away. Throats in the back of the neck. Knees are positioned right underneath the hips. From here, curl your toes back up underneath you, and exhale, draw the belly button up and find that nice plank position. Long knees, straight as an arrow, throat in the back of the neck. From here, let your knee come back up underneath you. Good, take a breather. Exhale, press one leg back out. Press the other leg back out, nice and easy. You're pressing the mat away, throat's in the back of the neck. And then curl the knee back up underneath you. Good, inhale. And exhale, press that leg back strong behind you. From here, make sure your feet are together. We're gonna take your right leg, float that long towards the ceiling. And then from here, little pulses up, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And come back down, knees bend, and then take a little pressure. Exhale, find that nice long plank again. Feet are together. Lift the left leg up nice and strong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then let that foot come back down. Bend the knees. Press back into child's pose. Lovely work. From here, we're gonna find a nice side plank. Now, you can stay in this nice extended plank position, or we can come down to forearms. Let's start off in forearms. I find that forearms takes a little bit extra muscle work. It's not as intimidating though. So from here, we press those elbows instead of the hands connecting with the mat. The elbows push the mat away. And press out nice and long through one foot, and then press out long through the other foot. From here, bring your right hand towards the mat so that the palm is flat. Heels rotate so that your toes and feet are pointed the same direction. Then from here, stack your feet and then unstack. Stack your feet, unstack. Really draw this elbow towards the top of the hip and stack. Unstack, and then find your left forearm to the mat, palm down, feet point in the same direction as your hands, and then we're same thing. We're just gonna take your right foot, stack it, unstack, stack, unstack. If you need arm up, do so. And one more. Good, unstack, find toes and forearms. Everybody's on the mat, wide knees, and find your child's pose. Heels are really rested with your hips. If that got too wristy, or if the one before that got too wristy, feel free to grab your heels and just come off of your arms, come off of your elbows, bend shoulders. Excellent work.
We're going to play with a reverse plank. So find your way onto your bottoms again. We're going to stay up in a seated position. Hands are going to be behind us. Play with your hand position with this one. Now, of course, classically there are some requirements there, but for this, you're just going to do what you need to do. We're going to keep your feet right in line with your sits bones. And then from here, we're going to be in a nice position to just find a little bit of space here. We inhale, exhale, send your knees towards that opposing wall, and that will lift your hips up. And then from here, send the hips back in, knees come back to point towards the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, send the knees towards the opposing wall. Keep a little bend in your elbow. This is kind of a rough position. If anyone has shoulder stuff, you really want to make sure that your elbows are not locked out here. Inhale, exhale, send those knees away. And then from here, squeeze the hips and then relax. Squeeze those hips and relax. Squeeze those hips and relax. Send your hips all the way back up underneath you. Excellent. And then come off of your wrists here as well. All right, how did that feel? You guys are doing great so far. Let's do one more in this position, and then we'll start working into our cool down. From here, we're gonna again find that nice long posterior or reverse plank, and then we're gonna take one leg long, and then it goes up and down, up and down, and up and down. You should feel that hamstring doing some things. And then up and down, up and down, up and down. And then send your hips right underneath. Excellent. So from here, we're just gonna do some nice, easy stretching. So just take your bottom and your legs go as wide as your mat here. Okay, I'm just gonna do some spine stretch forward. This releases some of the work that we just did back here while also kicking on some nice deep abdominal work. So from here, we just float the arms over our legs. We inhale. Exhale, we drop chin to chest and start rolling down vertebra by vertebra. Nice and easy, as if you're peeling your back off of the imaginary wall behind you. So here's the kicker. This isn't a forward fold. I want you to feel like you're keeping this relationship of the pelvis with the floor, okay? And then you take an inhale as you get down as far as you can reach. Exhale, draw the belly button towards the spine as you reach out further into that space over the feet. Exhale, good. Inhale. And then exhale, you're gonna start rolling back up, vertebra by vertebra. Shoulder blades come back down on the back and sit up nice and high. Inhale. Exhale, drop chin to chest. Vertebra by vertebra, come forward, nice and easy as you're reaching into the space over your feet. I want you to feel like you have a huge beach ball between your chest and the tops of your thighs. And exhale, draw that belly button deeper as you reach even farther forward. Good. And then exhale, start stacking the vertebra back up, roll the shoulder blades onto the back, and come up nice and high. Last one. Exhale, chin to chest, roll forward nice and easy, one at a time. Really sending the belly button all the way back towards the spine. Again, the relationship of the pelvis and the floor does not change. Inhale. Exhale, belly button drawn towards the spine as you reach out even longer over that space over your feet. Now from here, exhale and grab something. Now you can forward fold. All you long hamstring people out there, find that space. where you feel is a nice, good stretch. From here, we come up nice and tall, belly button's drawn towards the spine, and we're done. Good work today, guys. Again, all of this is going to help with posterior chain strengthening, postural strengthening. This is a lovely one to do if you've been on a road trip or if you've had a long day in the office. Really nice to get everything keyed back up to come up into your tall, strong self. All right, now everyone, I want you to all start working on creating your own practice and movement sequences that are felt for your body. If you need help with that, please feel free to call us and make an appointment, and we can serve you as best as we can. All right, everyone, take care.